In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your restaurant show up at the top of Google in 2024 without having to spend money on ads. First, I'm going to show you the real numbers behind a restaurant that's been doing this now for the past 4 years and how they've used it to go from 1 location to 12 locations. Then, I'm going to explain why SEO is so powerful for restaurants and the surprising reason why it's proven to be a better use of your time than social media. Then finally, I'm going to give you the 7 best strategies that you can use right away to unlock the source of new customers for your restaurant. So let's dive right into it. I want to introduce you to my friend Mo, the owner of Talkin' Tacos in Florida, who's used Google SEO to drive over $750,000 in sales for him over the past 4 years. It's become his top source of new customers. When I first met Mo back in 2021, he had just expanded his food truck to his first brick and mortar location. His restaurant was busy right away, but he had a problem. That problem was that almost all of his new customers were coming from DoorDash and Uber Eats. You probably know why that was a problem, right? Because they were taking 30% from him on every order, where in restaurants, profit margins average just 5%. So it's not sustainable to be paying 30% on every order. Worse than that, they weren't sharing the customers' names with him anymore, like they don't with anybody. So they weren't even really his customers. Mo told me that to succeed in the long run, that he needed a more sustainable and profitable way to get new customers online. So he started using SEO to rank at the top of Google. He executed all of the tips that I'm going to share with you in this video, including some brand new strategies in 2024 that have been made possible through AI. Now, 4 years later, the results he sees are bananas. In the past 30 days alone, he's had more than 1,897 new customers come from Google. Those customers drove over $27,509 in attributable sales through his direct online ordering channel alone. That's just in the past 30 days. Imagine how much those new customers spend over a year. The reason I know all of these numbers is because Mo's been using our platform at Owner.com to power his website, do his SEO, and measure his marketing. You might be thinking, Adam, I've heard social media is the best way to grow a restaurant. TikTok is so big right now. Why would I focus on old school Google SEO over that? Because in working with thousands of restaurants over the past 6 years, I've seen that SEO has 3 really important things going for it in marketing a restaurant that strategies like social media marketing don't. The first thing is that people are ready to buy. When somebody searches Google for a restaurant term, like best tacos in Miramar, Florida, they're already ready to order from a restaurant. So now it's more just a matter of deciding which restaurant they select. Driving an order from that customer who's already ready to buy is as easy as showing up at the top of what they're searching, because you don't have to convince them to buy. If you compare this to what somebody's doing when they're on Instagram or TikTok, they aren't there to order from a restaurant. That's the other problem with social media. It's global in nature, meaning your food pictures get shown to accounts all across the world. And to drive restaurant sales, you need to target people within 10 miles of your restaurant. These are the reasons why social media is a horrible way to get new customers versus Google SEO. The second reason why Google SEO is the best way for restaurants to get new customers is that there's already thousands of people in every city searching Google every month for food. In fact, more people still search for restaurants on Google than Yelp, DoorDash, and Uber Eats combined, because people are so used to searching Google for everything. The third reason Google SEO is the single best way for restaurants to get customers is that most restaurants, even today, are doing SEO wrong, which means that if you're able to be the one that gets the best practices right that we cover in this video, then you'll unlock that steady flow of new customers as a competitive advantage. So one of the things that we're going to cover in this video is not only the most important things to do to increase your SEO rankings, but how you can actually measure the sales impact of SEO down to the penny so that you know how it's working. So now you've seen an example of a restaurant that's used Google SEO to drive millions of dollars in sales in Talkin' Tacos. And you've seen the 3 reasons why Google SEO is the most effective way for restaurants to increase sales. So you're probably wondering to yourself, Adam, where do I even begin with SEO? Because I've heard there's so many different things that I could do. And that's what the rest of this video is about, because we've boiled it down to the 7 most effective things that you can do in order to make your restaurant show up at the the top of Google. And we're also including the latest strategies that have been made possible in 2024 thanks to the breakthroughs in AI that I've learned now in over the past 6.5 years working with thousands of restaurants and seeing the numbers behind their sales growth literally every day. So let's dive right into it. Starting with strategy number 1, figuring out what phrases would be most valuable to rank for. The beginning of optimizing a restaurant for Google is figuring out what keywords would be most valuable to rank for at the top of Google. In the SEO world, this is called keyword research. A keyword is the phrase that gets typed into Google for a Google search, like best tacos in Miramar, Florida. There's 2 types of keywords that we need to plan for: our primary keyword and our secondary keyword. Our primary keyword is the type of restaurant that we are and the city that we're in. For example, I recently helped Antoinette, the owner of Ottavio's Italian restaurant, with her SEO. And her primary keyword is Italian restaurant in Lakeside, California, the type of restaurant she's in and her city. She also wanted to rank for a secondary keyword, her pasta, because that's the most common type of dish on her menu. To find out your top keywords, you can use free tools online, like Google's Keyword Planner tool, to figure this out based on your restaurant type and your city. To make life easier for you, I've done research on all of the most common restaurant types and the best primary and secondary keywords to optimize for on each. I'll put them up on screen right now. These keywords that we're recommending are based on the numbers that we've seen across thousands of restaurants in the United States. If you have a different restaurant type and you want us to do this research for you, you can comment your restaurant name down below and we'll give you the top keywords to optimize for your type based on your restaurant name and the city that it's in. Then, once we've got the best primary and secondary keywords figured out, it's time to place them in the meta title and H1 tag of the website. That may sound like mumbo jumbo to you, but in 2024, it's usually super easy to do even if you're not a coder. And it's important to do because Google uses the H1 tag and meta title to quickly understand what keywords your restaurant is most relevant for. So if you can strategically place your primary and secondary keywords in the H1 tag and meta title, you're telling Google that when people type this in, my website is specifically designed to be relevant to this type of search. A common mistake I see that ruins Google SEO is when restaurants have an important announcement to make. Like they say they're now hiring for their line cook position, or they've got a special promotion coming up for the Super Bowl, and they put that at the top of their website, not realizing that the top of the website is the H1 tag that gets assigned, and they're signaling to Google that their website is about the fact that they're now hiring a line cook, or that there's a Super Bowl promotion, and it suppresses their ability to rank for these most valuable keywords. That's what the H1 tag is. It's the first big text on your page that Google uses to understand what this website is even about. While your meta title is very similar, but instead of being the first big text on your page, it's the text that you tell Google to display as the headline in that blue text on the Google search results. So now you've got your primary and secondary keywords represented in the most important text on your website. So you're probably wondering, okay, aside from my primary and secondary keyword, how do I rank at the top of Google for the rest of my menu items? And that's what strategy number 2 is all about, creating dedicated pages for the most popular menu items that you've got. Because sometimes people are going to be searching for a specific dish that you offer. And if you can rank at the top of those searches using pages that are custom designed for those menu items, then it can be an amazing source of new customers who want exactly what we offer. For example, according to KW Finder, over 500 people per month are searching for birria tacos in Miramar, Florida. So what we did with Talkin' Tacos to show up for those 500 people was we created a dedicated page on their website just for their birria tacos. Then what's really genius is the fact that this page is connected to their online ordering and to the rest of their website. So people can smoothly flow through after typing in birria tacos and clicking on their website and order the dish with Apple Pay in less than a minute to enable impulse buys. AI has completely changed the game on this, because what used to take thousands of hours and teams of people to do, the process of creating custom, well-written pages for dozens of your menu items, can now be generated automatically in a matter of seconds using the latest in AI. That's what Mo from Talkin' Tacos does. And he does it automatically using the platform that we've built at Owner.com, where it learns all of his menu items and then it uses AI to generate pages to rank for every related keyword. that is related to those menu items. Even if you don't have access to the latest AI tools, you can do this manually with any website builder for your most popular dishes. Very few restaurants do this. So when your restaurant does, there's almost no competition for showing up at the top of Google. And this is just one of the new restaurant SEO strategies we're going to cover in this video that uses recent breakthroughs in AI. Before we get to the others, if you found this video helpful so far, then click that subscribe button to make sure you never miss out on the videos I make about the most important strategies working today to grow restaurants and the real results of the thousands of restaurants that have used them. That brings us to strategy number 3, making every page connect with where guests are. I don't mean where guests physically are, I mean in their buying process. The better we can connect with where they are in their buying journey, the longer people will spend on your website. And not only is that a major ranking factor in Google's eyes, but it also means more sales, SEO aside, because when you've designed the website around the customer's buyer psychology, it ends up leading to higher conversions and more people actually ordering food from you. To start on this, it's helpful to put yourself in your guest's shoes. In seeing the numbers behind thousands of restaurants now, I've found that there's 3 major factors that go into that decision of which restaurant to order from. First, people ask themselves, is this restaurant's food good and reliable? And can I actually trust this restaurant? Is it popular? That's where online reviews come in. According to studies, 70% of people placing online orders reference online reviews to make their buying decisions. So now that the guest has confirmed that your restaurant is popular and has happy customers and is reliable with good food, the next question they're asking themselves is, how is this restaurant different from other local options? That's where telling your restaurant's story comes in. People love to know what makes your restaurant special before they make that buying decision. An example of a restaurant that I've seen do this perfectly is Banu Indian Cuisine in San Gabriel, California. Because after showcasing those reviews, they have a story section on their website and a story page which talks about their vision for creating this authentic Indian market and restaurant that people can use to get a taste of what the founders' experience was in growing up in India. They talk about how it's run by a family, and you can get a sense of the soul of the place and how it truly is an authentic restaurant run by people who love their community and care. So the next question the guest has on their mind when deciding which restaurant to order from, now that they trust your restaurant and know what makes it different, is, okay, what's most popular on the menu? Because it gives people ideas of what's most popular on their menu to make their buying decision easier. You can't just tell them what the most popular dishes are though. You have to show them, because in restaurants, people love to eat with their eyes. If we can create websites that address those 3 major factors, then people will spend longer on our websites and are significantly more likely to order. When Google sees people spending a while and placing lots of orders, it shows them that the website is a quality restaurant website that nicely matches what people are looking for so that they can give it more exposure in future Google searches. Which brings us to strategy number 4, page speed optimization. You've probably had that experience before, right? The one where you're excited to do something online, visit a website to do it, and then it just takes a long time to load every little thing. It's frustrating. According to a study by HubSpot, 70% of people surveyed said that page speed could make or break whether they order online. Not only that, but for every 1 second that a website takes to load, the study found that it produces 5% fewer people converting into customers. That means if your website takes even just 3 seconds to load, you're losing 15% of new customers. Because page speed is so important, it not only affects whether people who make it to your website will actually order from you, but it also affects how many people Google sends to your website. In fact, it's so important to Google that they developed a tool to show you how your website loads on different devices. Again, there's a ton of options that you can use to increase page speed, but I've done the work to simplify the top 3 that you can do that have the highest impact. The first one is compressing images and then re-uploading them. Because believe it or not, there's a world where you can have 2 images that look to the naked eye to be exactly the same, but one of them has 10 times the file size. So compressing is a fancy term for making the file size smaller without hurting the quality. The second major way you can speed up your load speed is simplifying code. All you do here is you show whoever your web guy is a report on what that page speed tool from Google calls out, and they'll have enough to optimize that for you. The third is is ensuring that your web hosting is served with best practices and that it has servers near where your customers are to decrease the latency between where your customer is and where your website's hosted, and that in and of itself improves the speed at which it loads. Our platform at Owner.com does this automatically, with websites built using our platform consistently scoring in the top 1% of restaurant websites in terms of page speed and usability. The first 4 that we've covered here are improvements that you make on your website. That's why they're called on-site optimization factors. But the next one, which is also really important, actually happens off your website. And that's number 5, get your naps right. I'm not talking about the midday siesta nap, which no one in the restaurant world has time for, of course. I'm talking about the name, address, phone number, which Google uses on directory sites to figure out how popular your restaurant is. Where when Google sees which businesses are most mentioned by other relevant businesses across the internet, then they assume it's more popular and they rank it higher. The key here is consistency. Every character of the restaurant's name, address, phone number, and website across Yelp and TripAdvisor and Yellow Pages needs to be exactly the same as the others, down to the littlest detail. The littlest character can break a citation. Now, there's one more technical optimization that you can make across your restaurant's website. That's strategy number 6. Setting the alt text on your images strategically. The alt text is the text description of any image that Google uses to figure out what's actually in the pictures. It's super easy to set in any website builder. This not only helps your website show up for your primary and secondary keywords by telling Google more about the type of restaurant that you are based on the images that are on your website, but it also makes it so that when somebody searches Google images for those keywords, that your pictures can come up, and that leads to people clicking on those images and visiting your website directly. By the way, there's a special bonus to doing this alt text stuff beyond helping you get new customers. So how do we do this? We go into our website builder and online ordering system, and we adjust the alt text field on all of our menu items to be best, and then the name of the dish and the city you're in. So if I'm Antoinette from Otavio's and I'm trying to rank my garlic bread higher, I would say best garlic bread in Lakeside, California. If we go back to the example that we started with of Talkin' Tacos, some of their hundreds of new customers every month actually come from Google Images. Because when we search for tacos in Miramar, Florida, you'll notice that 6 of the first 9 images that come up in that result are photos of their restaurant. And if you click into their photos, it brings you to their website. As we know in restaurants, people love to eat with their eyes, and there's huge advantages to having your images ranked as well as your web pages. That brings us to another genius strategy which Talkin' Tacos has leveraged really well. Strategy number 7, using AI to rank for nearby cities. At the start of this video, you heard me talking about how Mo and other restaurant owners are using AI to generate pages for their menu item. When we first set that up with Mo, we started seeing crazy fast results. And I checked in with Mo, hoping he'd be psyched about finally showing up for these menu items. And he said, it's cool, but can we do the same thing for all the cities near us? So we have pages that rank at the top there. In that moment, I wanted to be like, Mo, why can't you just be happy? We had this huge breakthrough. But I realized he had a point, and we dug in, because every restaurant has surrounding neighborhoods and cities that they aren't in, but that they also draw some customers from. So if they can set up landing pages which are specific to people searching for their food items in those cities, then they can show up at the top for all of those surrounding cities. Doing this manually would mean hundreds of hours of work in researching all of the neighborhoods and generating content relevant to each of them. But with an AI website builder, we can literally have it done in a matter of seconds. So what this means is that for every surrounding city, the AI creates a page which has all these other on-site optimization factors taken care of. Alt text, meta title, primary keyword, secondary keyword, but they're designed to rank at the top for that specific neighborhood or city, giving that restaurant even more probability of attracting customers nearby, even if they're searching in cities that are not the city that that restaurant specifically is in. I've got good news, which is we started this video by saying there's 7 tips, and there's actually one more tip. We got a bonus tip. Tip number 8, tracking your progress to measure what's working. Because I know what you're probably thinking after seeing this video. This sounds great and all, Adam, but how do I know this is actually driving me an increase in sales? That's where measuring the SEO sales impact is so important. And the real question of all of this is not where are we ranking, but it's how many new customers are those rankings driving? How much in sales are those rankings driving? There's only one tool that I know of that makes this measurable down to the penny of which customers came from which source online. And my company built it after experiencing that frustration myself for years. It's one of the tools available on our platform at Owner.com, which allows you to see exactly where new customers found you online and how many of your new customers came from each source and how much in sales each source drove you. Everything that we've covered in this video, from the Google on-site optimization to the brand new AI features, are automated as part of the platform. So they enable you to get it all done for you without having to spend the hundreds of hours manually to set those things up. If that sounds of interest, then go to Owner.com and book a demo to see how Owner can help you increase your sales. Anyway, if you want a free SEO report, then comment your restaurant name and the city it's in down below. I will go through and research your restaurant and comment back with some tips based on what keywords you're ranking for and not ranking for. If you learned something helpful in this video, then also make sure to click that subscribe button down below to make sure that you never miss out on the latest restaurant growth strategies that are working today. Because I post a few times every month based on my learnings in working with thousands of restaurants on exactly that. I hope you have a great rest of your day and hope to see you around this channel soon. Bye.